Hi, I'm Mike Singletary. The other Mike Singletary, owner of Singletary's Furniture.
Whether looking for the perfect piece or an entire room, Singletary's large inventory of quality brands makes shopping easy. Our friendly staff will gladly assist you with decorating ideas, financing, and free delivery in the area. And everyday low prices and customer satisfaction is always our goal.
Price, selection, and quality are very important at Singletary's Furniture, and we got prices you can bear.
Welcome once again to Kangaroo Football 1999. Big victory over at Mineral Wells. It was Mineral Wells' homecoming last Friday night. Certainly an exciting time for them. Also, they had an induction into their Hall of Fame, their Athletic Hall of Fame. So a lot of excitement in Mineral Wells. Mineral Wells has a very talented football team, and we just feel very, very fortunate to come out of there with a victory as we did last Friday night. 34-7, big victory for the Roos, and one that we're very, very pleased with, one very proud of the way our players, particularly the second half, when really the outcome of the game maybe was already decided, but came out and played with great intensity, the best we've ever done that this year, and when a game has been decided, and played very, very well throughout most of the second half. They scored late to keep us from having a shutout, but that's one of those things that sometimes you lose a little bit of intensity when in the waning moments of the game, and the outcome is certainly decided. So very pleased with the win, very pleased with the way we came out and performed the second half, and took a step we really feel like towards becoming the caliber of football team that we all hope to be at season's end. 2-0 in the district now, 4-1 overall, and that certainly brings some excitement and confidence to our football players, and we couldn't be any more proud of them than what we are as we go into a big, big game this next week against Brewer. Brewer also 2-0 in the district. They're also 4-1. Very fine football team, good offensive and defensive linemen, a good quarterback, good tight end. They have a defensive football team that has not given up a lot of points, and so it's a big week for us this week in Kangaroo Land as we prepare for them, and also as we get back home and play what a lot of people think will be the district showdown for this team coming out of this game Friday night with a victory. Will be 3-0 in the district, and certainly have a real advantage going for themselves going on throughout the rest of the district season. So big, big week coming up, and we certainly need all of you in attendance. Friday night, 7:30, Kangaroo Stadium. What a big night, and what a great advantage we would have if we have a huge crowd and a very supportive crowd as a home field advantage. You know, you hear athletes talk about home field advantage, you hear coaches talk about home field advantage in every sport at every level, and I think that certainly there is something to that, and you, the fans, are the ones that make that difference. Make the difference in those close games with the support, enthusiasm, noise, encouragement that you can give to our football team. We certainly need the biggest crowd we've had this week at Brewer Stadium as Brewer comes to town, here at Kangaroo Stadium, as we fight to become district champions. You know, our football team has set as its goal to become district champions for the first time in over 30 years, and we are on the way to having a chance at that. And so we desperately need the support and encouragement of our fans, and it's not just the football team that wins, but it's in our entire school, our entire community wins when you win a district title. So we encourage you to come, and we need you, and certainly hope that you can be there next Friday as we play the Brewer Bears here at Kangaroo Stadium, 7:30 Friday night. Look forward to it.
Hi, I'm Mike Singletary of Singletary's Furniture. You know, there's only one thing more relaxing than fishing, and that's kicking back in a good recliner. At Singletary's Furniture, we have a full selection of top quality recliners, such as Flex Steel, Best Chairs, Ashley, and Lazy Boy. Come by and see how great these recliners are, because once you sit in them, you're never going to want to get out of them. Catch the big savings at Singletary's Furniture, 1215 Highway 180 West in Weatherford.
A quick injury update this week. I know that there were a lot of players in uniform for us on Friday night down at Mineral Wells, but there were some that we were certainly missing too. And so a quick injury update. Todd Stroud, of course, with the broken bone in his foot, is still healing, still in a cast, and we anticipate Todd being able to return for us as we go into the playoffs, and certainly hope that that happens. Jared Tidwell, defensive tackle, backup offensive lineman, was also out this week with a broken bone in his arm. We anticipate Jared being back in just a couple of weeks. We certainly hope he's back at least by the Springtown game, which will be after the Brewer game, because we need Jared back in our defensive line. He's done a good job for us. So Jared hopefully will be back for that Springtown game. We had a couple other players that we lost to grades this week, which is very unfortunate for them, very unfortunate for us. We need all of those players, and we hope that after that 3-week period that they will be back with us, and certainly are very, very much needed. Jared Nunn, a backup offensive guard who is also going to back up this week at tackle, injured an ankle in practice and was not able to be with us this week as well, and we hope that Jared will be back this next week filling that all-important role of that backup position at both offensive guard and tackle. So we were a little bit short. Andrew Shanahan came back and was only able to practice one day, but did get to come back and suit up and play a little bit, and we anticipate him being back. Came out of the Mineral Wells game without any serious injuries, which we are very, very thankful for, and hope that we don't have any injuries or any illnesses this week in practice that prevent us from getting ready for the Brewer Bears, because preparation is going to be a big part of our opportunity for victory, and we think that that is what can give us the edge over Brewer, is our preparation as we go into that ball game. So the injury report is somewhat brief, but we still hope to get those players back as quickly as possible and not lose any more, because we need certainly all of them on hand for us to have the best opportunity to win. You know, there are a lot of things that go into getting ready for a football game. A lot of people do a lot of things to help our football team get ready, and I know each and every week as we go through our preparation, there are a lot of unsung heroes, and many of those are on the practice field every day. Our student trainers, our players who run the scout team and do the things that our opponent's going to do on offense, on defense, on special teams. And those are the guys that really are the unsung heroes of any football team, because some of them, of course, do not suit up with the varsity on Friday night. Some just play on Thursday night on our junior varsity games. And it's those young men who get our varsity team ready each and every week that really pay the price and are the unsung heroes of our football team. And we want to salute them this week. I mentioned that our preparation is going to be a real key to us being able to win against Brewer this Friday night. So I think that it's maybe the right time to salute those young men who make up our junior varsity team, who go against the varsity players each and every day in practice and get them ready. And guys, our guys do a really fine job of that, and they're waiting their turn to play varsity action. And so you know, our team concept states that we all have a role to play. And certainly we salute the young men who run our scout teams each and every week to help our football team get ready to play on Friday nights.
I'm Mike Singletary. Everyone knows I love to rough it in the great outdoors. But sometimes it's hard to get a good night's rest sleeping on this hard ground. I sure miss my Sealy mattress.
Where'd you like the new mattress, Mr. Singletary?
Just put it in the tent. Come check out a wide selection of fine Sealy mattresses at everyday low prices at Singletary's Furniture.
Dad, Mom said it's time to come in for supper.
The following is a Nothing But Sports production. Hi everyone, I'm Bob Tallman, and it's Weatherford Kangaroo time here at Nothing But Sports. But first, NBSP and our sponsors would like to say congratulations to you, the players and coaches, participating in today's game. In the spirit of competition, we encourage you to play hard, play fair, and respect your opponent. You'll be cool if you do. And I want you to take care of your game tape. 30 years from now, it might be the most valuable video you own. Now, before the battle begins, let's take a look at the teams and the athletes and the coaches coming up in today's game.
Hello everyone, I'm Sean McQuinn for Nothing But Sports Productions. today's game will be at Miller Stadium in Mineral Wells, Texas for District 8 4A game between the visiting Weatherford Kangaroos and the home team, the Mineral Wells Rams. The Kangaroos come in with a season record of 3 wins against 1 loss. Offensively, the Roos average 256 yards rushing per game, 58 yards passing, for a total of 314 yards per game on offense, while scoring an average of 25 points per game. Defensively, the Roos allow an average of 190 rushing yards per game, while giving up 144 yards passing, for a total of 334 yards, while giving up 19 points per game on the season. Here's what head coach Larry McBroom had to say about his upcoming opponent, the Mineral Wells Rams. He says that Mineral Wells has an outstanding running game based on a large offensive line and excellent speed at the skill positions. All of the Rams' offense is based out of the triple option wishbone and midline veer schemes, so ball control is critically important to them. The Roo offense must sustain mistake-free drives against the Ram defense and take time off the clock. This is our best defense. It is also important for our passing game to be efficient and effective tonight to lighten the burden on our running game. Says the defense must execute the responsibility versus the triple option, down after down. Dive, the quarterback, and the pitch must be counted for on every play where the option is shown. Tackling is a key with any opponent, but it is critical when playing someone with breakaway speed like the Rams possess.
It looks to be an exciting battle between these two powerhouses coming up right here on NBSP. We'll be back in a moment with Nothing But Sports player profiles for a close-up look at the players and coaches. Stay with us.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming and I was like, no.
You love watching movies and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
Welcome back, everybody. Now let's take a personal look at NBSP Scouting Report and discover who's wearing the uniforms and what really makes them click and tick.
Now let's take a look at number 5 for the Weatherford Kangaroos, 6 foot, 170-pound junior, Colt Borland. We asked him what some of his interests and hobbies include, and he said sports, hunting, fishing, and anything outdoors. We asked what it would take to be a champion. He said win the state championship in both football and baseball before he graduates Weatherford High School. We asked him what some of his career goals are in the future, and he says he wants to attend Texas A&M, wants to become either a veterinarian or an FBI agent, and he also hopes to play football and baseball while attending Texas A&M. That's number 5, Colt Borland of the Weatherford Kangaroos. Let's take a look at number 8 for the Weatherford Kangaroos. That's Philip Phillips. He's 5'8", 155 pounds, and he's a junior. His hobbies and interests, well, he just put one down there, but that's all right. He put band. We asked him what are his future career goals in life. He said possibly some kind of scientist, musician, and he also wants to go to college. What he would do to be a champion, he said work hard, hours every day. That's Philip Phillips, number 8 of the Weatherford Kangaroos. Let's take a look at Sean Bridges of the Weatherford Kangaroos. He's number 33, 5'10", 192-pound senior. We asked him what he would do to be a champion. Work as hard as he can and help others to do their best. His hobbies and interests include church, studying the Bible, and lifting weights. His favorite academic subject in school is history, and his career goal is to be full-time in the ministry of Jesus Christ. That's number 33, Sean Bridges of the Weatherford Kangaroos. Number 51 for the Weatherford Kangaroos is Michael Ross. He's 6 foot, 196 pounds, and he's a senior. His hobbies and interests include weightlifting, drawing, watching football, playing football, and church. His favorite academic subject in school is science. And we asked him what it would take to be a champion. He said spending more time on football, fundamentals, and in the weight room. His future career goals in life are to go to college and to be a drafting engineer. That's number 51, Michael Ross of the Weatherford Kangaroos. Let's take a look at Brent Whitson, the assistant coach of the defensive backs and the wide receivers for the Weatherford Kangaroos. Well, he's coached for a while back in Ada, Oklahoma, 1982 through 1984. He coached there. Ardmore, Oklahoma, 94 through 96. And, of course, and now at Weatherford, Texas, 1996 to the present moment. He played for Ada, Oklahoma High School in 1977 through 1979. He was a 2-year starter at quarterback. And in college, he played for East Central University for 2 years. He has an accounting degree from college, and his hobbies include golf, spending time with his wife and 2 sons. His most memorable moment in his sports career was when he lost the 1979 state championship game in the last 32 seconds. That's quite a heartbreaker. Brent Whitson, assistant coach of the defensive backs and wide receivers for the Weatherford Kangaroos.
Today's game is being brought to you by Texas Bank. With us, it's personal. And by the New Car Dealers, backing the Roo Crew in '99. That concludes this week's NBSP scouting reports, and we'll be back in a moment on location with the big showdown. Stay with us.
Well, we want to welcome our live KZ radio audience, and we also want to welcome our Nothing But Sports presentation audience that will be watching this on cable television, Channel 19, and also on the Kangaroo video. And let's start this one the way we start many of them. Here is Jeremy McClure kicking it to the side. It is a pooch kick that will be received and fumbled out there, and I believe that it was fumbled right on the sideline, and so it will go out of bounds on the 30 or on the 29-yard line. And over there to take that pooch kick was Doug Jefferson, and right off we see that the Kangaroos, Mark, are not going to kick that ball deep if they can keep from it and give people like Brandon Smith and also Dennis Wooten back there a chance to get out in the open.
That's right, Randy, and that was a great tackle down there in the open field by Kane Riddle. He got down quick and put his helmet right into the midsection and brought the runner down.
Here is the first play, and it is a pitch out. It will go to number 22, Ray Phillip, and he is run out of bounds, and I believe he lost 2 or 3 yards on that play as he went out of bounds over on the east side. Nice pursuit by the Kangaroos to start it out here.
Randy, looked like the whole right side of the Roo defensive line got good penetration in there. Michael Branch over there on one side, Scott Safford in there, and they just did a great job of making some deep penetration and strung that play out all the way to the sideline.
And it was a loss of about 4 yards, so we'll have a 2nd and 14. The ball is placed at the 25. We have receivers left and right. The one man straight behind the quarterback is Cunningham, and here goes Crozier. You cannot let him get loose. He's got speed. 40, 45, and this reminds me of just a couple of weeks ago On the second play from scrimmage, Crozier ran that exact same play against Granbury, and he went 67 yards for a touchdown. You've got to watch him. He is dangerous in the open field. That's a first down out at the 44-yard line of Mineral Wells.
And a good job out there by number 35, Garrett Hudson, of running the quarterback down, ran him out of bounds, and the Roos are ready to go at him again.
First and 10 from their own 44, the Rams in the wishbone. This time it's a flex ball. Here comes Ray Phillip. You better make the tackle on him too, and there is a beautiful tackle by Garrett Hudson across the 45. It will be around the 49-yard line, still on Mineral Wells' side of the field, but Garrett Hudson made a good open field tackle on Ray Phillip.
It was also a great job by Jeremy McClure of getting some penetration in there, Randy, stringing that play out. And then Garrett came up behind Jeremy and just made a solid tackle, wrapped him up for a short gain.
Just underway, first period, the Rams of Mineral Wells and the Kangaroos. Here is Crozier back. He's looking to throw a long one. He's got a man down there, and it goes right through his hands, and that was Adele Duckett. Oh my, now we see how dangerous this team can be. And after getting shut out last week, come right out here and they have a man wide open at the 20-yard line of Weatherford. Goes right through his hands.
Randy, we've heard all week long how Mineral Wells just likes to pound the ball and pound the ball and pound the ball. So obviously the coach is thinking about tricking Weatherford up and giving them something to think about. Pretty smart play early in the game to stretch the field out there.
Third down and 5. Duckett now moves off the line of scrimmage. A one-man back in the backfield there is Cunningham, who gets the handoff. Well, you know, on this midline option that they run, that's about a 2-yard gain across midfield to the 49 of Weatherford. Won't be a first down. You have to stop that first man. If you don't stop the man that's shooting straight up field on you, the fullback, you're going to get in trouble real quick. And right there, the Kangaroos are able to do it.
A great job there, Randy, by the interior line of the Roos, stopping that play. And now we're going to have a punt here, 4th and 4 for Mineral Wells.
And Crozier will punt it. Back is Kane Riddle, or Colt Borland is back there. And a fair catch by Garrett Hudson. And Garrett will catch this just across the 15-yard line. A nice punt by Crozier. And a good reception there by Garrett Hudson. So with 10 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first period, the Kangaroos will have the ball for the first time.
Randy, that was a pretty smart play by Garrett Hudson to go ahead and fair catch that ball instead of letting it bounce. That ball could have ended up on the 2 or 3 yard line of the Roos. Garrett did a good job of keeping our field position.
Well, they will mark the ball at the 17-yard line. The first handoff goes to Pierce. He will take it to the right side of the Roo line and across the 20. Gain of about 3 yards for Mark Pierce.
Good job of blocking in there by the interior of the Roo line. We've got Michael Ross in there and Jose Antillion leading the way for Mark Pierce.
Second down, about 7 yards to go now for the Kangaroos. They'll have one receiver to the left side. Here's another handoff to, I believe, Pierce, and it is Mark up to the 25-yard line. Tough yardage up the middle this time by Mark.
It was a good job there by Garrett Hudson leading through the hole there and blocking in front of Mark Pierce. Allowed the Roos to get up close. We need about another 2 yards for a first down.
They have the ball marked across the 25, 26-yard line. 2 receivers to the right side for the Roos. The one-man back is Pierce, and here is Moore. He fakes it to Pierce. He'll have the first down across the 30 as he goes to the left side this time. That's a nice play by Zach Moore.
Zach did a good job there of giving Mineral Wells the impression he was just about to flip that ball out to Garrett Hudson, and they began to pay a little more attention to Garrett than Zach. Zach turned it up, knew how far he had to get for the first down, and the Roos were ready to go again.
Kangaroos come out again with 2 receivers to the right side. That is Colt Borland and also Chad Legale. Left side flanker and one man back. Zach Moore is going to pass. Now he's going to run. Oh,
Look
nice
out,
cut
look out.
all the way to the 40, and he hits one man head on and knocks him flat there in the across the 40-yard line, and moves up to the 44. Another great move by Zach Moore.
Well, Randy, that was number 11 for Mineral Wells, Crump, who tackled Zach, but that was more a case of Zach running into him than him tackling him.
Well, you know, last week, Mark, I saw on that 80-yard run by Mark Pierce, Zach Moore ran into Woodard, 225-pounder, and just flattened him, Woodard of Castleberry. So he is a tough dude, I'm telling you.
No doubt about that.
This time he keeps the ball himself and slides under some of the Rams to the midfield. Gain of 5, second down and 5 for the Kangaroos. We're in Miller Stadium tonight.
Randy, I don't think the Roos could be any more pleased with the way they've started off tonight. They did a good job defensively of stopping the Rams and making them punt. Got a feel for what the Rams were doing offensively, and now when Roos got the ball, they've marched the ball to the midfield point from the 18-yard line.
Well, this is the 6th play of the drive, second and 5. And here
there
comes
he
the
goes.
one the other direction, and this is
Garrett
Hudson across the 45, the 40, and down to the 39-yard line of the Rams. And they really had the Rams moving the wrong direction that time, Mark Reeby.
Yeah, it's hard not to watch Mark Pierce all the time, Randy, and when you start doing that, the Roos are going to hand off to Garrett Hudson or number 31 Andrew Shanahan sometimes, and you're gonna lose some yards whenever you pay too much attention to Pierce.
1st and 10 for the Kangaroos. And they are looking tougher every week. They want to keep it up here and play well, keep things rolling. Hand off to Pierce inside. This time the Rams are looking for him, and he's stormed under by a number of the interior people there for the Rams, including Adele Duckett. Only gained about a yard on the play. Ball is placed at the 38. Big crowd again tonight on both sides of the stadium. Roos have got a big crowd, as usual. Second down, 8 yards to go. 38-yard line, and here again is that play to Hudson. He's got a big hole, 35, 30, 25, 20.
Oh, get the ball.
And the ball is fumbled around the 15-yard line, and let's see what happens. It was stripped from Garrett Hudson at the 15, and the Mineral Wells Rams have got it.
Oh, that's just a big shame, Randy. Garrett was really turning on the Jets there and starting to run real hard. And one of the players for Mineral Wells just reached out and stripped that ball from him. And so the Roos end up playing defense now as the Mineral Wells Rams have the ball on the 15-yard line.
Well, that certainly hurts. This is the kind of team that you want to jump on top of them just as quickly as you can. They have not shown the ability to come back very often the last couple of years. Here is the pitch out. This will go to Ray Phillip, and he cuts through a number of the Roos around the 15 and will have about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Good tackle in there by Craig Boney, and also number 21 Chuck Wilkie coming in to deliver a hard blow right as the runner was going down, Randy.
Well, this is homecoming night over here for Mineral Wells. You know they're going to play tough, much tougher than they played the last couple of weeks. All the coaches at Weatherford believe that the Rams were looking forward to this game. That was one of their problems last week. And also, they're beginning their Athletic Hall of Fame tonight. So a big night for everyone from Mineral Wells. Crozier will fake inside and keep it himself and get up near the first down at the 19. Danny Merritt is in there for Tidwell, who I believe he broke his arm in the second half last week. We've lost a couple of other players, so there's some changes in there. As now we have a timeout, we're going to keep it right here. But that turnover, just never know how big that's going to play in the game, Mark.
Well, no question about that. The Roos worked real hard all week on not generating any penalty yardage and not turning the ball over. And I think we'll continue to see that pay off tonight. one mistake's not going to kill the Roos. I believe that they're in good shape as far as taking this game.
We want everybody to stay with us at halftime because we're going to have some stories about some of the earlier Weatherford Kangaroo teams. And I'm talking about going way back, Mark, even before you were born, back before they were the Kangaroos. In fact, they were the Mellon Men. I'm going to tell you about one of those teams. Also going to tell you about the infamous Strawn Jinx. And we're talking about right down the road here, the Strawn Greyhounds, when they used to pummel the Kangaroos many years ago. I'll tell you how Kangaroos ended that. And then I will talk about the notorious Pluto Goats at halftime. The Pluto Goats, I'll give you a hint, they're on the field tonight, Mr. Reeby.
Red and black, I bet.
Third down, just short yardage needed here for Mineral Wells, and then we'll give it to Phillip, and a good hang-on tackle by Wilkie right around the ankle. That will be a first down at the 30-yard line. 5:34 to go in the first quarter. There is no score from Mineral Wells, and when Mineral Wells runs onto the field, Mark, you're always impressed with them. They've got size out there. They have people that can move. They look tough. They look disciplined. They've got speed. But they just haven't been winning that much, and you just kind of wonder. Here's a nice inside handoff to Ray Phillip across the 30 and 35. He'll have 6 or 7 yards right up the middle of the Kangaroo defense.
Randy, we had several guys in on the tackle there. Michael Branch and Ron Boney. I mean, not Ron Boney, but Craig Boney. Ron Boney's sitting up in the stands.
You have the same problem with that as I have with Chad Lagali and
Don Lagali.
Mr. Lagali right behind me here. Hand off again to Phillip. It looks like they're going to go to their big man tonight. He's got another first down across the 40. They go to the right side this time and open up a small hole. But Ray Phillip at 6'2", 220-odd pounds, can run the 100 meters in around 11 flat or less.
Randy, it's about time for our defensive line to make a stop here because the Rams are just pushing and pushing and pushing, and we've had about all we can take here. It's about time to stop them.
1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 44. One man back is Cunningham. In motion is Phillip, and he's going to get it again. He's going to go to the right side. Oh, but this time Such is there, and Such just jumps right on his back. Nice play, and that will be a gain. No gain at all on that one. Right at the 44-yard line.
And that's the kind of penetration you like to see from the Roos. Keith came across there and stayed with the runner and just put his head across the bow and drove him into the ground. So that's the kind of stop that the Roos need on first down.
Keith Such is the Roy linebacker. No, that will be the right linebacker. The Mike is Boney, and the Sam linebacker. That will be Jeremy McClure most of the time. 2nd down. And an inside handoff. No, Crozier keeps it this time. Well, you know what they do, Mark, if they run that midline option correctly on the wishbone, the tackles for Weatherford cannot do anything right. If they go in toward that mesh when the quarterback sticks it in the fullback's stomach and they go for that, well, then the quarterback just pulls it out, and then he runs down the line and faces the defensive end. Right. The defensive end comes in toward the quarterback. If he can't make a cut, he'll just pitch it out to the guy coming around. 3rd down and 9. Here's Crozier. He's going to go back to pass this time. He has a receiver, Duckett, and 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Oh, and then finally half of the team there for the Kangaroos jump on Adele Duckett, and they are able to get him down short of the point needed for the first down. Just across midfield. They're going to mark the ball at the 47.5-yard line of Weatherford, and I believe that was a big play right there, Mark Reeby.
No question about it, Randy, and a very good job of gang tackling by the Roos. Had 5 or 6 of those white jerseys on that ball carrier, and it took all 5 or 6 of them to bring him down. He's a big fella.
Here's the punt going back to the 5-yard line, and here comes Borland upfield across the 20, the 25, and there he is down and down hard. So with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first quarter, Kangaroos will have it again. They drove from their own 17-yard line a moment ago and fumbled at the 15-yard line of Mineral Wells.
Well, Randy, in that opening drive, the Roos sure proved to themselves that they can run the ball against the Mineral Wells Rams. That counter play that they were running to Garrett Hudson worked exceptionally well. So we'll see if they keep that up.
2 receivers to the right side, and Pierce is going to get it, and not much yardage. Mark gets a yard to the 26. And we knew that Mineral Wells was going to be fired up tonight. Chuck Curtis, their athletic director, believed they would play well. Sean Harvey is the head coach, and he's done a good job here for the Rams the last couple of years. And if you want to talk to somebody, Mark, that really knows high school football and is known everywhere in the state of Texas, talk to Chuck Curtis. He is an icon.
No question about that, Randy.
Every place he went, they won a state championship for a long time. Here's Moore keeping the ball around the right side. There's a flag down. He's across the 40 and across the 45, but I believe we're going to have this one coming back.
Well, that sure was a great job of running by Zach Moore. He eluded 2 or 3 tacklers, and we got some good blocks out there on the outside, allowed Zach to get around the end. But it looks like we will have to back that up.
And the penalty will go against Weatherford, and they're going to mark it off from, I believe, the 30-yard line. And it's going to go back to the 21-yard line of Weatherford, holding. So we'll have a second down play again and about 16 yards to go for the Roos. The Roo fans have almost totally filled the east side here at Miller Stadium. And that side over there runs from the 10-yard line on both ends.
Randy, the Roos may have just been backing up to get Zach a little bit more running room here. He might go all the way.
Well, here's Pierce. He has a good outside block. 20, 25, 30, 35 before he's run out of bounds. And there's a good run for the big guy.
And great blocking out there in front of Mark Pierce by Garrett Hudson and by the quarterback, Zach Moore. And the Roo interior line doing a good job of keeping those linebackers and linemen from spreading that play out.
Jason Such goes out. In comes Branch. He'll be playing left tackle. Giles is in there. Big Brandon Brown, Jose Antion, Michael Ross. 2 receivers to the right side. 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. Here is Pierce. Can he get it? He's fighting hard. Initially, he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to squirm through for a yard or 2. I don't believe he's going to have the first down, though. And the Roos may have to punt. Ball is at the 36. They're going to have to measure right here. But I believe he's going to be a yard short. Well, we're going to have a timeout. So let's go ahead and take a timeout, too. You're listening to Weatherford Kangaroo Football on KZ 1220, your sports center. We'll be right back.
Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet. Tuffet Muffet. She would have sat on anything, she was so wasted.
Your future is a long and winding road. There are many options, many distractions, many twists and turns you can take on the way. Your future is out there. Need directions? Weatherford College can help you get exactly where you want to go. So contact us today. At Weatherford College, our grads go places.
Al, Super Save Produce Buyer, line 1.
Dave, yeah, 20 truckloads of grade A direct from my orchards today at 20% below market price. You know, Dave, you could advertise a lower price if you bought my grade B. Yeah, but there's not that much difference. But it's good enough for your competitors. 20 truckload.
Super Save's low price gets you the good stuff.
Okay, the good stuff.
Looks like the Kangaroo is going to be a little short as the Rams have held, and they were helped by a holding penalty there on a good run by Zach Moore just a moment ago, and then a good run by Pierce to get it up near the point they needed for the first down, but it is short. I suspect that they will punt here from their own 37-yard line. There is no score. We have 40 seconds left in the first quarter of play.
It looks like
and they're bringing them in.
Yeah, Coach McBroom's showing a lot of confidence in his defense right here, and also a lot of confidence in his offensive line.
This is a dangerous team to do this against, and I'll tell you why, because they love to penetrate. They love to get people through those holes at the line of scrimmage. Here's a handoff, and
there he goes.
Pierce has got it, though. He had a good hole, and then he made a couple of quick steps in there and got across the 40. Went right behind Jason Such on the right side, and also Jose Antillon.
Good job in there by the offensive line. They just pretty well dominated Mineral Wells that time, and Mark picked up about 4 or 5 yards on that short run.
1st and 10 as the Roos decide to gamble early here. And spinning around is Moore, no one there. He makes a nice cut, though, gets away from a man at the line of scrimmage, and then moves up across the 45 to the 47-yard line, and that was a busted play, I believe, because he was looking to hand that off, and he spun all the way around, as he does quite a bit with this offense. You'll see him spin 180 degrees.
Well, boy, that was a hard run by Zach Moore that time, and we've come to the end of the first quarter.
And there is no score. We'll be right back with more Weatherford Kangaroo football right after this.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Can I have a puppy? What do you mean Ground's never coming back? Why does she get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
Hello, I'm Don Cressman, candidate for District Judge for the 43rd Judicial District of Texas. I'm here today to ask you to do 2 things. First, I want you to support the Weatherford Kangaroo. Second, I want you to vote for me on the March 14, 2000 primary for District Judge. Thanks a lot.
Well, welcome back to Miller Stadium. We're moving into the second quarter. Kangaroos nothing, and the Mineral Wells Rams nothing. And Mark, we had a feeling that Mineral Wells was going to play tough tonight. Of course, the Kangaroos have helped them along. They moved on a long, long drive, and
we're there. Randy, we've had little technical difficulties here, but
second down and 4 at their own 48-yard line.
Here we go with the Roos. Zach Moore under, hands off. That's Garrett Hudson on the carry.
Garrett Hudson back there, brought down by number 56, TJ Hornbeck. Launches back to the 45-yard line. Bring up 3rd down, 7 to go.
Key play here for the Roos is Zach Moore's under quarterback. 3rd.
Pass by Mark Pierce. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down for the Roos. Still 7 to go.
Hello.
Yeah. What happened?
We had to punt, and
Don Legale will have it.
and they brought us down to the 22.
This thing's real sensitive.
Rams have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Okay, we got knocked off. Sorry. We ran 3 plays and had to punt.
3 plays.
Yeah. Well, we have to apologize. We were knocked off the air for a moment. The Kangaroos ran 3 plays and were forced to punt, and they punted down to around the 20-yard line of the Rams. The Rams have just run their first play as they go from south to north here at Miller Stadium, and they did get a first down up around the 35-yard line. So it is 1st and 10 for the Rams at their own 35. 10:51 to go in the second quarter. Crozier is the quarterback. Phillip is in motion. Pitch out will go to Phillip. He has a hole across the 40 and breaks the tackle and gets up around midfield. And Ray Phillip, we've got a penalty flag down, so I have a feeling that this one may be against the Rams. But boy, he is dangerous, Mark.
Yes, he is, Randy, and the Roo defensive line doing a good job of staying with their assignments there. It looked like Michael Branch went ahead and wrapped the quarterback up even though the pitch had been made, and the Roos will continue to wear the Rams down if they'll just stay with their assignments here.
Well, I saw Ray Phillip against Granbury 2 weeks ago on that same play there. Pitch out, left side, and he just turned on the jets all of a sudden. It looked like 2 of the Granbury defensemen had angles on him, and he just ran off and left him. He had a 15-yard lead on him by the time he got to the end zone. 77 yards later, Crozier, the quarterback, quick pass, left side. This goes to Brandon Smith, and he will run to the outside and down the sideline up near midfield. I think they're going to mark it inside of Mineral Wells Ram territory, and that was a good pass by Crozier. He can throw the ball. They just don't do it very often. That was a little pass out into the flat. We'll have a 2nd down at about 2 for the Rams now.
Yeah, Randy, Coach McBroom was mentioning this morning how when you run this triple option like the Rams do, it's very hard to be a good passing team because you just don't have enough time to work on it. So, but the Roos can throw the ball, obviously. I mean, the Rams.
Hand off to Phillip. Nice cut inside. Moves off his own left tackle and will be stopped at the 49-yard line. That mark a moment ago was at the 43 instead of the 47, so the ball is at the 49, but it is a first down. And we're seeing an inspired Mineral Wells Rams team tonight.
Yeah, they're not going to lay down, Randy. They're playing for homecoming, and they'd like to get back to even 1-1 in district play.
5-man front here for Weatherford, and Phillip has it again. He's just tripped up. He is running hard right at the 45-yard line of Weatherford. Jason Such penetrated that time, but a good hole for Phillip, and they're giving to the, well, he's getting the ball quite a bit in this game.
Yeah, they're just going to feed it to him, Randy, and see if the Roos can stop him. And it's about time for us to do that. We've let them get to midfield, about the 45, the Roos 45, and it's time for us to go ahead and stop them here.
9:22 to go in the second quarter. There is still no score. And here's a good tackle.
Job.
Coming in is Boney. And Boney blasts Phillip, the line of scrimmage. He may have gained a yard going down. Boy, that was a good stick.
Yeah, he really filled the hole there, and good job by Jeremy McClure. Also, in number 21, Chuck Wilkie, in there close and making a contribution to that play.
So it's third down, 4 yards to go for the Rams. They're in Weatherford territory now, and they're going to call a timeout, and we will call a timeout too. We'll be right back with more Weatherford Kangaroo football right after this. You know, anytime you get in cramped conditions like
this. Move that corner sat in the corner. Sure, smoke that much pot, and you'd be paranoid too.
In the early days of Parker County, the courthouse and square was the focus of activity. Education was important. The first high school was built in 1885 on the north end of the block, now occupied by the City Hall. The White Junior High was constructed on the site of the old Central High and was used until the new South Main School was available.
We are named Weatherford National Bank because we are Weatherford. From the rodeo to the Peach Festival to Christmas on the Square and everything in between, you'll find us there sharing in the rich heritage of Weatherford and Parker County. Come by any of our 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo, where you'll find free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking, all the services that our customers have come to expect. Weatherford National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
8 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Second quarter. The Rams have driven from deep on their onside to the 44-yard line of Weatherford. They'll have a third down play, about 4 yards needed. And Crozier, their quarterback, has handled the ball well. And he's made a number of handoffs to Mr. Ray Phillip. And we had some stats on Ray Phillips a little earlier, one of the top running backs around. And it is P-H-I-L-L-I-P. There is no S on that. And that's hard to get used to, Mark. Third down. Crozier's back, and he's going to be caught in the backfield. And back there quickly is Jeremy McClure, and also storming in is Branch.
And we had number 71, Danny Merritt, in on that play also, Randy. That was ideal for the Roos. Key stop with 4 yards to go on third down, and it's time for the Rams to punt again.
Well, you know, the good thing about that is that they lost yardage. You would have to think the Rams, the way they were moving the ball, if they got down close to the yard marker there for the first down, they would have went for it.
Sure, the more success they have, the better they're going to get, too. So.
Fourth and 6. Crozier will punt. Oh, almost blocked by Kane Riddle. Very high, fair catch called for, and over there is Garrett Hudson. So the Roos come up and stop them. 25-yard line is where they will have it. And we'll see the Kangaroo offense again. 8:01 to go in the second quarter.
Randy, I don't know about you, but I just feel like the Roo offense is just about to explode. We've had some success. We've been going up and down the field, but we haven't had any of those 40 or 50-yard runs like we're accustomed to seeing out of our backfield. And just up to this point, we haven't exactly been blowing them off the line.
All right, folks, we're going to call this a prediction by Mark Reeby. Finally, here is Zach Moore, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, 35, 30-yard line. He's done it again. Mark Reeby makes another big prediction. It comes true. I don't know how he does it.
Timing is everything, Randy.
Zach Moore, he had some good blocking on the right side. Then he outran some people. He outran them down the sideline and was run out of bounds just outside the 30-yard line. That's I guess you could call that an explosion.
I would say so.
1st and 10 for the Roos now. See if they keep it up. The offset eye. Handoff will go to Pierce. 3 yards across the 30, down to the 28-yard line. And Mark will always be the eye back. And he's got the little guys blocking for him. You'll see people like Bridges up there and Shanahan and Kane Riddle blocking. If you saw those guys walking on the sidewalk, you'd say, well, the big guy is the blocker and the little guys carry the ball. But that's not the way it is in the Kangaroo offense.
Well, I'll tell you, some of those little guys can knock you pretty hard.
And I'm going to tell you how they block in a minute. I've been watching them on film. 7:16 left. 2nd down and 8. And here is Mark again. He's finding the going tough. They have got his number, but he's still battling across the 25. 3rd down and 4 for the Kangaroos. And they've got to punch something in here, get some kind of score on the board.
Well, that's what the Roos need right now, Randy, is go ahead and get a touchdown, get ahead, and hopefully you'd see Mineral Wells start to, feel bad about themselves a little bit, and the Roos could really pile it on at that point. But important to score right here.
Offset to the left this time, and Moore will keep it, and he'll be near the 1st down at the 20-yard line. I think he's going to be just a tad short. Quarterback draw. Went off the right side of his center, Michael Ross. And this one will be close. See if they're going to mark it here. They're going to say it is 4th down. Nope, they're going to bring out the chains now. Nope, we're going to have a timeout. So let's take a short timeout right here with 6:19 to go. There is no score between the Kangaroos and Mineral Wells. We'll be right back in a minute.
Your hometown bank teams up with your hometown Kangaroos to provide the support for a successful athletic year at Weatherford High School. Texas Bank, a proud sponsor of the Kangaroo Stadium scoreboard, the Sports Medicine John Deere Gator, and the new athletic training complex. Texas Bank makes the commitment to our student athletes to place them in the winner's circle. Backing our Kangaroos, banking at Texas Bank. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
You can find yourself living in the middle of breathtaking beauty among the wildlife of Texas at Silverado on the Brazos. This upscale, low-density equine residential development has a world-class arena, 200 box stalls, and professional trainers on site. Spectacular building sites in the Brazos River. Boating, hiking, trail riding, and coming soon, an 18-hole championship golf course. To choose your beautiful home site, call 817-341-7770.
It's always someone else's kid who smokes marijuana. Someone else's kid who's messing up in school. Someone else's kid who's having trouble at home. But what happens when someone else's kid meets your kid? Talk to your kids about marijuana before someone else does.
They have run off 3 plays, and they're at the 20-yard line. We'll have a 4th down. They need about 2 feet, and they're going for it. And they'll have 2 men in the backfield with Pierce, the I-back, behind them. And it goes to Mark. He's got the 1st down. Across the 20, down to the 19, perhaps the 18-yard line.
Boy, great blocking in there by Jason Sudge. And Kane Riddle came through, and also number 33 for the Roos, Sean Bridges. Just doing a good job of blowing the Rams off, and they picked up at least a yard more than they needed on that play.
1st and 10 for the Weatherford Kangaroos from the 18-yard line of Mineral Wells. Let's call it the 19-yard line. They will have receivers left and right, Borland and Legale. And here is Moore, pitch out to Garrett Hudson. quickly the pursuit is over there. Hudson dives and will have some yardage. And it looks like he's near the 15-yard line. Tough running there by Garrett Hudson.
And that was a great pitch by Zach Moore, Randy. Just as Zach was about to get tackled, you see that ball flip out with that left hand, and Garrett catches that thing on the fly and heads for the sideline.
The Rams had their pursuit over there nicely, and that's something they've been seeing right there all summer and fall from their own teammates. Here's a pitch out to Pierce.
Here we go.
And he will have the first down across the 10-yard line as Zach Moore leads the interference again. And, you know, Zach Moore's just like having another lineman out there blocking, as tough as he is.
No doubt about that, Randy. When he makes that pitch, I mean, he heads around that left end full speed, and Garrett Hudson's out there leading the blocking also, and the offensive line doing a great job over there on the left side of containing the players, and they're running straight at number 6, so Duckett for Mineral Wells, they're not shying away from him at all, Randy.
First and goal from the 8-yard line of Mineral Wells. They want to protect the ball here, not give it up. Here's a pitch out to Pierce, and he will try to find a hole and finally does squirt through at the 5, and I believe he's inside the 5-yard line. And again, there's not much yardage out there for Pierce. A lot of what he's getting now is just on talent and desire because the Ram defense is swarming.
And that was a great job of blocking in front of him by Brandon Brown, and number 3, Kane Riddle, teamed up on a couple of players out there and let Mark kind of squeeze his way through for a couple of yards.
And Kane Riddle, he is a very good low blocker. He goes right at the ankles and he keeps the defenseman's hands in. Here's another handoff to Pierce, left side. He is going in for a Kangaroo touchdown.
Great job there on the left-hand side of the line. They just blew the Rams out, and that's probably one of the easiest runs Mark had tonight. He really didn't even get hit very hard as he went through the line that time.
6 yards or perhaps 5 yards. It's hard to see the line markers from where we are, but a nice hole opened up, and from our angle, we could just see the hole all the way into the end zone there, Mark, and boy, you cannot give Mark Pierce that much room. Here's Jeremy McClure. The lefty puts it up, and this one is right through the uprights, and it's 7-0. A long drive predicted, as I might say, by Mr. Mark Reeby. We'll be right back right after this.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. Well, duh. That's what happens when you get stoned.
Teamwork. That's what it's all about in football. The teams that win championships always work together. It's the same in banking. The folks at First National Bank of Weatherford work together as a team to provide the best service possible. We're the best bank in town because of teamwork. We treat all our customers as a VIP because to us, everyone is important. Come by today and see what teamwork can do for you at the First National Bank of Weatherford. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Here at Green's Florist, we strive to please our customers. Come by and see our large selection of silks, plants, cut flowers, balloons, and novelty items. Established in 1957, we're the oldest family-owned florist in Weatherford, having over 55 years of combined experience with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. We're located at 701 North Main. Give us a call at 594-2733, and we send flowers worldwide.
Seven to nothing. The Weatherford Kangaroos are on top. A long drive, 75 yards, 45-yard run by Zach Moore, the big play in that drive, and then finished, or in the drive, yes, and then a 5-yard touchdown run by Mark Pearson. Kangaroos really needed that one, and Mr. Reeby, the next time you feel a big play coming on and a big explosion, please let us know. 7-0, and Jeremy McClure will kick off here for Weatherford. Back deep, we'll see Brandon Smith, Ronald Bell, and also Dennis Wooten deep for the Rams. And let's see how the Rams respond to this long drive by Weatherford.
Well, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Rue defense responds also, Randy, because a lot of times when the offense will make some good plays like they did for the Roos, the defense just picks it up a notch further. So it'll be exciting to see what happens.
Here's the pooch kick. It's going to be picked up outside the 10, and that's Brandon Smith, and he gets by a couple of minutes and 15, the 25, and then the 30 before he is rounded up by Jeremy McClure, and also Keith Such was there, and also Baird Weaver was in on that play. So the 30-yard line is where the Rams will take over here, trailing 7-0. We have 4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Tonight, Azle is at Springtown. That is a big game at 8-4A. And also Boswell will be taking on Castleberry, Northwest, and Brewer. Crozier, the man under there for the Rams. Hand off to Ray Phillip. He's running to the right side, and he has a good move, but there to get him is Wilkie with a good tackle. And I talked with Brett Whitson yesterday, and he said that Wilkie is one of the fastest learners he has on the team. Very bright, very intensive player.
Well, there was also a couple of good players helping on that play, Randy. Jeremy McClure was stringing that out, and also Jeremy Day, the left end for the Roos.
Gain of 5. The ball is at the 35. Crozier barking out signals now. One man way to the left side here, and Crozier is going to have a problem on the mesh with the fullback, and he trips and falls down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard.
They just got their feet tangled up a little bit there. And now you tell me statistically, when Michael Branch falls on him, does he get the tackle for that?
You bet. First man there that touches him gets credit.
Okay, I like that deal. Well, 3rd and long. Now the Roos need to stop him right here.
3rd and 5 from the 35 of Mineral Wells. He's looking for a pass. Crozier is. He throws it to the left side. It is short and into the turf as he tried to hit Matthew James on a slant in pattern, a little curl in around the 45. That is incomplete.
Randy,
and they'll have to punt.
There were 2 Root players in there putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, Scott Safford, and also number 25, Cashin Carlisle, just came flying in there, almost blocked that pass. He had his arms up and made it hard for him to see the receiver.
Crozier back to punt for the Rams. And then there's a lot of movement along the line. I didn't see a penalty anywhere.
Oh, what a
nice punt. Here is Colt Borland running to the left from the 25-yard line, sidesteps a man, and is going to be wrapped up and bowled over at the 32. So the Kangaroo Crunch defense has come on strong here in the first half, and they have led the way. And the offense, a couple of long drives against the Rams. It's 7-0 Weatherford, and the Roos will start this drive from their own 32.
Well, Randy, being up 7-0 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds going into the halftime, I'm sure Coach McBroom would like to see the Roos go ahead and score one more time and go in 14-0. Gives you a lot different feeling at halftime being up 14 as opposed to being up 7.
2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They have 3 men to the right side as they're in a spread formation here, and one of the Roos jumps early. They had Colt Borland, Chad Legale, and Mark Pierce all to the right side, and they had no one to the left side. They had no one in the backfield. They also had Kane Riddle out there in a slot, but somebody jumped, and 5 yards against the Kangaroos. They'll mark it back to the 27. 1st and 15 now. Roos back. in the offset this time. They have receivers left and right. Up the middle goes Pierce. Quick handoff across the 30.
Well, and that was a great job by number 63, Jose Antilla. He just leveled number 52 for the Rams and stayed on him all the way to the whistle. And just very important in getting that hole opened up for Mark Pierce.
Second down, they need about 10 yards to go. Here is Zach Moore. He has a good hole again to the left side at the 30, and I believe they're going to get the Kangaroos for possibly a chop block here, or crackback block as we used to call it. He got out near the 40-yard line, but it will come back as the Kangaroos are moving back. Yep, going to go against the Roos. We're down to 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the second period. 7-0, Weatherford leading. It's been a tough first half.
We got Michael Branch coming in for Jason Such. And Jason's been playing both ways, defensively and offensively, and he and Michael have been trading out at that tackle position on both sides of the ball all night.
Well, they move it back to the 24-yard line of Weatherford. And you don't want to make a big mistake here now and let the Rams catch up. You want to protect the ball right here. If you have to punt, you have to punt, but you don't want to do anything foolish. Offset to the left side. Here's the handoff to Pierce. Breaks through the initial surge at the 20 and will cross the 20 out to the 22. We'll have a third down play. Giving it to Mark Pierce is a pretty secure move by the Kangaroos here, but now they have 3rd and 15 yards to go from their own 27-yard line. We're down to 121, and I think the Roos probably want to run off as much time as they can right now.
Yeah, Randy, no point in turning the ball over deep in your own territory right before half.
Down to 111, 110. Here's a pitch out to Pierce. He has some good blocking at the 30, 35, 40, 45, midfield. The last man has him by the collar at the 45-yard line, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 46 of Weatherford. And Pierce looked like on that run, Mark, he was just kind of biding his time, waiting for things to open up. He showed a lot of patience, and then he just took off when he got to the outside and shot down the sideline right in front of the Ram bench. That's a big first down. Now you might see the Roos try something a little different here, and back in the shotgun goes Zach Moore, 1:01 left. They have 4 men out, 2 to each side. Here is the snapback and a pass that will be incomplete. Well, that snap went over the head of Zach. He was able to tip it up in the air and then catch it. He ran to his right, and I think he was just trying to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible that time.
Sure, but that was a very athletic play by Zach. That thing could have been back around our 25-yard line, and he just did a great job of tipping that ball and tracking it down. He never lost track of the ball, caught it, and then threw it away so the Roos wouldn't have a loss.
Second down. 10 yards to go. Again, the shotgun here by Moore. Finds a hole to the left side, slips. Now he's in the clear at the 40. He's at the 30, the 20, and he's down at the 12-yard line. And only the speed of Ray Phillip saved a touchdown there for Zach Moore. Wow.
Well, Ray sure got the angle on Zach, or I don't think he'd caught him there. But, man, Zach got through that hole and turned on the jets, and he was looking for the end zone, wasn't he?
You know, he almost fell at the line of scrimmage, and it just appeared that the Ram defense lost him or thought he went down. Ball is at the 11-yard line. Here's Moore. He's going to pass to the right side and will be incomplete and short as he tried to hit Garrett Hudson, who was out in the right flat. Garrett slips down trying to get that one. 32 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Rams are leading, or rather the Roos are leading the Rams 7-0. On a long, long drive. They've had a couple of long drives. They got down once deep in Ram territory in the first quarter and fumbled. And boy, this could be a very important touchdown right here if they can punch it in, or even a three-pointer by Jeremy McClure would certainly be big at this point. Shotgun formation, inside pass, and somebody was holding on to Pierce in the end zone, but I don't see a flag. And I think Mark turned around and thought that perhaps it was interference. Pass was incomplete, but no call on that one. Third down, the ball is at the 11-yard line.
Randy, the Roos have kind of been loosening the Rams up here by going through the air for the first couple of plays here after that long run by Zach Moore. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to go with the power game again and push it in instead of trying to pass it.
Third down, 26 seconds left to go in the second quarter. We have the offset to the left side, and here is a reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Colt Borland has it.
Get in there,
10,
Colt. Get in
5,
there.
has a good block there by Legale, and in he goes. That's a touchdown for Borland. Oh,
and no question about that, Chad Legale made that happen at the very end of the play there as he blocked out the final defender for the Rams, and Colt just strolled into the end zone.
Well, I certainly was fooled on that one. I would not have called a reverse right there, and I guess that's the reason it worked, Mark, because no one expected it.
I don't think anyone was looking for that besides the 11 Roo players on the field.
And Colt Borland cut inside of the Legale block there and made it in, and it's now 14-0 as Jeremy McClure adds the extra point. 17 seconds to go until we're at the half, and that was a big, big drive. We're going to stay right here with it.
Now, Randy, what does that do for?
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Those who dive lightly into the market today soon discover that when opportunities swim side by side with peril, it is easy to lose all sense of direction. The riskier the investment environment, the more you need the fixed income strategies of Cummer Moyers Capital Advisors. Is your investment advisor recommending Cummer Moyers for $19.99? Cummer Moyers, managing money, earning trust.
Pete's Place, this is Egan. May I help you? On June the 1st, 1976, it was my opportunity to walk in the front door of the Pizza Place in Weatherford, Texas. At that time, you could get the lunch special, which is a small cheese pizza, a salad, and a drink for only 95 cents. There's been a lot of things that have changed in Weatherford, Texas in the last 23 years, but there's one thing that's always remained constant. The Pizza Place and the Weatherford Kangaroos have always been a perfect combination.
75-yard drive, I believe, that time, Don Legale for the Kangaroos. How far was it? 68 yards and 9 plays. And 11-yard pass from Zach Moore to Colt Borland. And it's 14-0, and it looked like the half was going to end after the penalty there by the Kangaroos deep on their own side of the field. And then suddenly they had a big run by Pierce, and then Zach Moore broke through for another long run, and they were right down there. And they got it in, so a big touchdown. Here's the kickoff. It's a line drive kickoff. The Rams get it to the 15 and across the 20, 25, 30. And before he reaches the 35-yard line, Ronald Bell is flattened with 11 seconds to go.
What a good hit in there by Cashin Carlisle. He really came across and had a good angle on the runner and just popped him hard.
Inside the 35.
Let's see what the Rams will try. They're down 2 touchdowns now. It's 14-0. We're just before half. They have time to run a play or two. You just really expect that they're not going to try too much here. They do send 3 receivers to the right side. They might just try a Hail Mary pass, perhaps.
Sure,
Here's Crozier. And he's going back to pass, and there go the three receivers. And here goes the Hail Mary, and it will be intercepted by Barrett Weaver at the 30-yard line. And we're down to 3 seconds, and the Roos will come in. We'll have one more play, and they don't throw it at Barrett too often, and when they do, that's usually what happens, Mark.
Well, Randy, that's just like throwing at Dion. You just don't do that. That's just, that's just one of the cardinal rules of football. You don't throw at Barrett Weaver.
3 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Kangaroos are leading the Rams on homecoming night here in Mineral Wells. 14-0. 3 weeks ago, the Kangaroos went over to Burleson and spoiled their homecoming. And now against their old rivals.
I guess this is the third homecoming in a row for the Roos. They had Burleson's, we had ours in Weatherford, and now we're having Mineral Wells. So.
Offset eye to the right side from the 30-yard line, and here is the kneel down by Zach Moore, and that will end the first half of play. It is 14-0. The Weatherford Kangaroos over the Mineral Wells Rams. We'll be right back with Don Legale in our halftime stats, and we'll give you some short vignettes about Weatherford Kangaroo football history right after we pause.
I just don't want to. I think a lot of kids smoke pot. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't. Why do I have to be so different? Different. Maybe we're not as different as we think.
First National Bank of Weatherford is excited about the 1999 Weatherford High School season. Since 1880, the First National Bank of Weatherford has provided friendly and reliable service to the folks in Weatherford and surrounding area. We wish all of the players, cheerleaders, band members, and fans success in all they do in 1999. Come by and visit with your personal banker at First National Bank of Weatherford, member FDIC and equal housing lender. In the early 1900s through the 1950s, Weatherford was known as the watermelon capital of the world. Farmers brought wagon loads of large melons to sell to visitors passing through the square. The watermelon that most people remember being in Weatherford was this one on the south side of the square, constructed for a parade around the courthouse. Weatherford was the watermelon capital of the world.
And Mark, you mentioned a moment ago about the number of two-way starters that Mineral Wells has, and that could be a very big factor, and we expect it to be a big factor here in the second half.
Well, no doubt about it. When you've got the Roos have got only 2 or 3 players that are having to go both ways with any regularity at all, compared with Mineral Wells, they probably have 6 or 7 of their players that are going both ways nearly in the entire first half. The Roos are going to continue to wear them down, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Roos score quite a few more points in the second half.
Mark, we continually talk about Weatherford being a small team size-wise and being a quick team, but there are some big guys out there on that offensive line. We've got Antillion and also Bradley Simmons and Brandon Brown. Those guys are all up in the 280-pound range. And then you throw in the tight end, Giles, who's probably up around 250 to 260 or something like that. And with those big guys pounding on you, and Mineral Wells, a lot of their players going two ways, and then you have these quick backs and strong backs in Mark Pierce and Zach Moore. You have to feel like here in the second half that that's going to have a big effect on the defense. of the Rams, and you kind of expected perhaps we'll see some long, time-consuming drives here by Weatherford. Much like I feel like that happened a couple of weeks ago when Granbury played Mineral Wells. That's what they did. They began to wear down the Rams and go on long drives and control the ball about midway through the second half. Starting about 5 minutes to go, I think, in the third period, they went on 3 long drives that took up much of the game.
Well, if you think about it, you're a defensive player, even if you've got a pretty good size body, having to tackle Mark Pierce time after time after time, that'd wear anybody out. So that's why football's played in 4 quarters, not in just 1 or 2 quarters. It allows the best team that's in the best physical condition to be successful.
Well, Martin will kick off here for Mineral Wells, and back deep for the Kangaroos is Barrett Weaver and also Garrett Hudson. Martin, he has a good leg. Here is the kick. It will go back to the 15, 16-yard line. Here is Garrett Hudson. Gets away from a couple of Rams and moves up across the 30, and he'll be caught there by the Ram kickoff team, and so the Kangaroos will have a relatively good field position at their 31.
Well, great job of eluding some tacklers there by Garrett Hudson.
31-yard line,
and,
first and 10 Weatherford.
Roos, I think, would like to start on at least the 31 every time, Randy.
We want to thank Job Sites Sales, also Roger Williams, First National Bank, Weatherford Democrat, Custom Homes by Noah. And some of our Weatherford Kangaroo sponsors on KZ. Here is a pitch out. Here is Pierce to the left side. The pursuit is there. He's going to try to go back the other way, and he can't do it. And he will lose about 7 yards.
Pierce caught in the backfield.
Well, the left side of the line kind of got defeated on that play, Randy, and at the very end had a little late hitting going on by Mineral Wells.
Back to the 25-yard line.
Got up a little bit fired up. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come out and rip off a long run.
6-yard loss on the play. The ball is marked at the 25. This is similar to the start they had last week in the second half against Castleberry. They lost 17 yards on their first play on a pitch out. Second down, Moore running to his left, looking for a receiver, and he underthrows Colt Borland, who was on the sideline around the 40-yard line. Good rush put on by the Rams as number 21 was over there, and that's well, they don't have a 21 on their roster, so I'm not sure who 21 was. It might have been 31. That's Carl Thompson. Just getting underway here in the third quarter, and a third down coming up for Weatherford. 3rd and 16. The ball just outside the 25. Receivers left and right. Lagali and Borland. Offset to the right. The handoff will go to Garrett. He breaks clear. 25, 30. And the ball is stripped out of Garrett's hands at the 40. And Mineral Wells will jump on it. And it will be inside the 40-yard line. They'll have it at the 39. Now, I'm not sure who the Ram was that was able to get that loose ball, but that was certainly breaking open for Garrett Hudson.
Well, and that was a play, Randy, where the player that stripped the ball really wasn't close enough to tackle Garrett. He just got an arm on it, and kind of the same thing happened in the first quarter. Garrett's running hard, trying to make that first down, trying to make something happen.
So let's see if the Rams can take advantage of this tremendous field position. 39-yard line of Weatherford, and immediately we have a flag, and this will probably be stepped off against the Rams for some procedure call.
Yeah, it looked like one of the linemen got set and came out of his stance, and the referee saw it, backed him up 5 yards. So that's a good sign for the Roos. Go ahead and let this Ram drive dwindle right here.
Well, this will certainly help. It'll be 1st and 15. The ball is back at the 44. An inauspicious start. I believe last year I malapropped, or last week I malapropped. I called it an unauspicious start. And I know you never malapropped, Mark Reeby.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, what an inside handoff that's going to be stopped immediately. And coming in was Jason Such, and he was in the backfield of the Rams, and he was looking for Ray Phillip that time.
Yeah, Jason just shot the gap, and if he'd have been ready, he probably could have taken that handoff himself, Randy. He was in the backfield before the quarterback even got to the running back. So great job there by Jason Such.
Loss of 2 yards, back to the 46, and now we have a second down. We may see some passing here by the Rams. Crozier is the quarterback. Wishbone backfield. Immediately we have a flag go up. The pass will be short as Duckett slides along the turf at the 37, incomplete, and I'm sure we're going to have a motion penalty as they had 2 men there in that wishbone moving. And
looks like
they may let this one, the Weatherford Roos just may let this one go. Be a third down play. They are. They're going to just take the play. That's probably the right thing to do there. Not give them another down to make a big play here.
We've got 25 Cashin Carlisle coming into the game, Randy, as the Roos kind of get into a little bit of a prevent defense with about 16 yards to go for the Rams on third down.
So Cashin will be on the left side. Here is Crozier. He is back to pass.
Look at that, baby.
Cashin has got him. Big loss all the way back to the 46 of Mineral Wells, and they will have to give it up. Oh, what a very good defensive stand there by the Roos. They were helped along by the Rams' own mistakes there, but Cashin came in, lined up to the left side, and he just stormed in on the blitz, and Crozier never had time to set up.
Well, he didn't even get touched that time, Randy. He just flew to the ball.
Fourth down, nice punt by Crozier. Here is Garrett Hudson with a fair catch at the 22. So the Roos have stopped him after a mistake. They fumbled in their on their first series there.
Catches made at the 23-yard line.
39-yard line, and they just push him all the way back to the Ram 46. 3 plays.
Randy, a great job by the Roo defense then. And those are the kind of efforts by your teammates that will inspire you. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Roo offense come out now and make a long drive.
They'll be offset to the left side, or from here it looks like a straight I formation. Pitch out to Pierce, gets away from one man at the line of scrimmage, breaks another tackle, runs over a man at the 35. And they never did get him on the ground. Boy, I'll tell you, Mark Pierce gets more impressive every week, and he means business out there, Don. He's having fun. You can tell he's enjoying playing the game, and you've got to be successful. But he's almost enjoying it too much, the way he's running over people.
Well, he did a great job of breaking that first tackle, and when he did that, he got a chance to kind of get his shoulder squared to the line of scrimmage, and really just picked up a strong head of steam. And these Mineral Wells sidelines are so narrow that he didn't have any choice, but he ran through several players on the sideline.
First and 10 from the 35.
Here we go.
And Pierce gets it again. A nice arm tackle there in the line by, I believe that was Brent Jackson who did that, and grabbed him right around the knee and knocked him off balance. A gain of 4 yards, though, for Mark Pierce. You know, in that previous play, Mark Pierce just slung one of the Rams off. He had him by the shoulders. He just slung him off.
That's right.
Just kept on going. Second down and 6. 8:51 to go. The score is 14-0. Kangaroos over the Rams. Pitch out, left side this time, and it's going to be a pass as Pierce has Garrett Hudson down there at the 40. It's right on his fingertips, and boy, that was a good call there by Larry McBroom. He was in the clear at the 40, but again, he had to look straight back and had a hard time seeing that ball, and then it was just a tad long as Mark Pierce was running to his left and just stopped. That was a nice pass. You know, he could have been a quarterback perhaps in his day, little younger days.
Good touch there, and but the thing that really does for the Roos is it makes the safeties and the cornerbacks really think before they come up on Mark Pierce runs.
Third down. Here is Moore cutting inside of one man, the 40, 45. He's at midfield. He's at the 40, 35, and is run out of bounds around the 30-yard line, and we may have a penalty flag here against the Roos. And I don't know exactly. May have been holding, perhaps. They have this call back from inside Ram territory. Let's see where they mark this off to.
Holding call against the
They have the third down play over. Well, that was a good run again by Zach Moore. He's having a good day out there, and his cuts are so precise, and they're so quick. The Rams just don't have time to respond.
Yeah, no question about that, Randy, and great effort downfield by the Roo offensive line and the wide receivers. As Zach gets into that backfield, he really has some folks out there fighting for him, and every once in a while on a play like that, you'll make a mistake and have a holding call, but I know McBroom would rather have his players trying and working hard than standing around doing nothing.
We'll have a third down and 2 as they mock it back to the 43 of Weatherford. And you know, Larry McBroom just simply won't let wide receivers out there on the field unless they block and block with a passion. And that's one reason so many of these plays are breaking open long. Here is Moore on a keeper. He will go across the 45, and that will be a first down.
Well, a great job in there by 63 Jose Antillion and Michael Ross and Brandon Brown. They're just blowing the hole open for the Roos, and Zach Moore just taking advantage of that strong push by that group of 3 linemen and picks up that first down easily.
Well, we've talked about the size up front of the Weatherford line. You know, all of their size is basically in those guards and some of their tackles, and also Giles, the tight end, and they could wear down this Ram defense here in the third quarter. Here's a handoff to Mark Pierce for about 4 yards. He's right at the midfield stripe.
And that was a great block in there by the tackle Joe Hash on this right side, Randy. He did a good job of sealing that in off and created that hole for Mark to go through.
And big Brandon Brown in there. He is Brandon and also Bradley Simmons doing a good job. And we've talked about Jose Antillion and his ability to trap block and his ability to fire out. Second down and 6. Here is Moore. He'll go cutting inside for a couple of yards. This time the Rams are able to ramp him up at the 47 of Mineral Wells. We'll have a third down play and about, let's call it 4 yards to go. 6:57 left in the third quarter. 14-0, Weatherford leading.
Randy, I think you can kind of see it in the Mineral Wells players' eyes right now. The Roos are starting to wear them down. They're being able to pick up that 3 and 4 yards nearly every carry.
One man back, that is Pierce. And here is that inside handoff to Garrett Hudson. Here we go. 30. He's at the 20. 10. Garrett Hudson with a touchdown for the Roos.
All right, and if that's not a little vindication for fumble, I don't know what is. Good job by Garrett Hudson.
You like to see that after a fumble or two in this game, but Garrett is a winner. And we have seen that throughout his career. We saw it on the baseball field. And now a long run, and it was, I believe, 47-yarder. Right, it was 47 yards for Garrett Hudson. And they are using Mark Pierce. They used Mark Pierce as a decoy on that play, and they brought Garrett Hudson crossing right to the right of Ross and Antillion, and they just made a big hole in there. And Garrett, when he shot through, boy, he has got that long stride, and it doesn't look like he's going that fast, but he was moving on. And Jeremy McClure sticks it through. It's now the marvelous Marsupials 20, Pluto Goats nothing. We'll be right back.
Been a break.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Dennis Connolly and Associates at Weatherford Physical Therapy have been serving and supporting Parker County since 1982. Their new location is at 1404 South Main, next to the Golden Moon. Weatherford's only privately owned rehabilitation clinic specializing in physical, occupational, and speech therapy. The latest equipment demonstrates their commitment to quality personal care. For all your sports medicine, spine, and orthopedic rehab needs, call 341-3600. Weatherford Physical Therapy Services.
Hi, I'm Shannon Carney, and this is my sister Stacy of Vic, Cressman, and Carney.
Hi, this is Laura Cressman from Vic, Cressman, and Carney.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Vick of Vic, Cressman, and Carney.
Together, we are Vic, Cressman, and Carney, and we support the Kangaroos.
Oh yeah, there is that other Vic, Cressman, and Carney, and they support the Roos too.
Now that'll break your back right there, friend.
We're ready. Come back quickly. Well, actually, it's the Marvelous Marsupials 21 and the Pluto Goats nothing. I don't think Chuck Curtis would mind if we ribbed the Rams just a little bit. Long run by Garrett Hudson. And now they do have control of this game. And let's see how the Rams will respond now, being down 3 touchdowns here in the third quarter.
Well, these kickoffs are where the Rams can be very dangerous, Randy. They get open in that wide open field, and they can really show their speed, so we need to tag them deep in their own territory.
Well, I'm sure we're going to pooch it, but he does, and he kicks it deep, and here is Smith with it. He is dangerous.
Good job.
And that was Chuck Wilkie, and Chuck Wilkie nails him at the 22. Boy.
You know, the Rams are noted for their speed, Randy, but the Roos have several players that can move along that field by them on their own.
Well, I sure hated to see that kickoff go to Brandon Smith. I saw him almost break 2 or 3 against Granbury, and he looked dangerous every time he had the ball. But that was a beautiful tackle by Wilkie, and you like the way Chuck Wilkie closes on those kickoff teams, and also back there at free safety. 6:16 left, third quarter. Here's a handoff inside. This will go to Cunningham. He'll make it to the 25. A gain of about 3 yards on that play for the Rams.
And on the inside there, you had Michael Branch and number 50, Scott Safford. And the linebacker coming in on top of that play was Keith Such. So the Roos doing a good job of not tackling with just one man, but they've got 2 and 3 and 4 guys hitting the ball carrier every time.
5:47 left to go in the third quarter. The Rams will come out. This time there'll be one man back and a flanker to the left side. That is Phillip, and he's going to get the ball. He's got some room over there across the 40.
Oh, good tackle.
And finally tackled at the 43. That will be a first down for Ray Phillip. See where they mark it here at the 42. And boy, he is dangerous in the open field, but a good tackle.
First and 10 Rams. Chased him down, and Barrett Weaver doing a good job of finishing that tackle off. So the Roos, about time to go ahead and stop Mineral Wells again. They've got out to the 42-yard line, and it's first down, but it's time for the Roos to apply the brakes.
They like to get the Weatherford defense going the wrong direction and then give it to Ray Phillip, coming from that flanker spot. Now Duckett moves off the line of scrimmage here. First and 10. Crozier with the ball. Gets away from a couple of the Roos at the line of scrimmage. Got out of the grasp of Such there, Jason Such, but in comes Safford. As we mentioned, Tidwell is not in there as he broke his arm last week. So we've got Danny Merritt playing a lot at the other tackle position on defense for the Roos. Second down at about 6 yards to go. The ball is placed at the 45 on the Mineral Wells end.
Well, good job on the left side of the Rue line there of spreading that play out, stringing it out, and preventing too much of a gain.
This time Phillip is a wing to the left, and he's going to get into that same play they've been running. He finds a hole across midfield, and again, just an outstanding tackle by Wilkie. There is a flag on the play. The ball is going to be spotted at the 49 on the Weatherford side. It'll be a little short of the point needed for the first down, but we've got a holding call against the Rams right here, and that's going to hurt.
Well, those are the kind of things that will stall a drive for sure, Randy. You have good plays, almost making a first down after your second down play, and then to get a holding penalty, especially when you're down 21-0 like the Rams are, that can't do anything but work in the favor of the Rouge.
Penalty brings the negative side of it is we've seen the free safety out there, Chuck Wilkie, have to make a number of stops.
Yeah, you don't want to see him tackling very high in the tackling stats anyway.
Mike McDaniel, who is the fastest Rue, according to Brent Whitson. He thinks that McDaniel is the fastest. He's in on the right corner. Crozier's going to go after Mike this time, but he is covered. And Mike,
there he is.
Oh, he almost received it. He almost intercepted it, that is, right in front of Matthew James, and that was great coverage. I was looking right at Mike that time, and Crozier simply could not let the ball go because number 82 out there, Matthew James, was just covered like a blanket by Mike McDaniel, and then when he finally threw it, McDaniel just cut right in front of him, and he should have had his first interception right there.
Boy, Mike just stopped on a dime when the receiver turned into that curl, and boy, he really showed some quickness getting down in front of him to knock that ball down and have a good chance at the interception.
3:53 left. Here we go with a 3rd down and 15 play. There's a nice pass out there that is caught right at the point needed for the first down. Beautifully done. A nice throw by Crozier on a curl-in pattern. And that was Brandon Smith who caught that. Brandon is a senior for the Rams.
Well, Randy, we talked earlier in the show about the fact that Mineral Wells is not noted for their ability to throw the ball, but they certainly are having a little bit of success with that throw.
Well, I saw Crozier let one go for about 50 yards in the air against Granbury a couple of weeks ago, and it was right on the money. I know he can throw the ball well. 1st and 10 for the Rams at the 48 of Weatherford now. Here's the handoff to Phillips. Again, he goes around the right side, breaking tackles across the 40 and down across the 30. And they just keep running that play over and over as they have Ray Phillip as a wingman on the left side. And they give it to him going right across the line of scrimmage, going around the left side of the Weatherford defense. And another big gain for Ray Phillip. The ball is at the 29-yard line. 3:24 to go, and it's 21-0. Kangaroos over the Mineral Wells Rams. Rams coming out now with, well, they're going to get him for illegal substitution, I think, right here. Yep, that's what it is, and that's the signal that you and I were a little confused on there in the first game of the season at Stephenville, Mark Reeby. And so back will go the Rams, and this was called just about the time they came up to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we both learned something then, Randy.
We are not so old, Mark Reeby, that we can't pick up something occasionally.
That's true. That's true. Well, this is where the Rouge really need a stop, Randy, because allowing Mineral Wells to score would allow them back in this ball game, and it's time, now that you've got your knee on their neck, you want to keep them down instead of letting them back up.
1st and 15. They have 2 receivers out. They're going to give it to Phillip to go the other way this time, but he is going to be stuffed at the 35-yard line. And good work there. There were a couple of the Rouge breaking through in the backfield as Ray Phillip got the ball. He ran to his left almost all the way to the sideline there. There was nothing. And a nice pursuit by the Kangaroo defense.
Well, you saw all 3 of the Kangaroo linebackers involved in that play there, Randy. Number 37, Keith Such, and 89, Jeremy McClure. And then number 25 for the Roos, Cashin Carlisle, chased him down from the back.
Second down and 16. Cashin is after Crozier again. He throws a pass, and there is Barrett Weaver down at the 15-yard line diving. Cannot hold on to it. Well, I'll tell you, Cashin Carlisle came storming in again, and if Crozier had not let go of that pass, he would have been completely compressed on the Miller Stadium turf.
Well, they're not touching Cashin from that backside, and as fast as he is, he's got a good shot at that quarterback. It's certainly not going to let him. He's certainly not going to let him run any deep patterns.
Third down and 16. Crozier can move, but he cannot move that fast. They have 3 men out. They also have Ray Phillip on the right side this time, and they're going to pass it to him, and there is Jeremy McClure for a loss, as he is right on top of Ray Phillip, and I believe that the Roos have seen that play before in the film room because they were ready for that.
Randy, you know, Jeremy McClure played defensive end for the Roos last year, his junior year, and is just a really solid senior for the Roos this year. Makes hardly no mistakes at all, knows what he's doing out there, and is really seen as a leader on this Roos team.
He's just one of those guys that has a nose for the ball. And here we have a penalty. Now, who will this be against as both teams line up just outside the 40-yard line? It's fourth down. A lot of yardage needed here by the Rams. They have to get inside the 20. They are going back in punt formation, and then Crozier's back there. But here we go again, another illegal substitution. And the Rams, you know, for the Rams, they have seen the enemy, and it is them.
That's right. Well, that doesn't do anything but play well into the Roos' hands, and the Roos have caused a lot of these mental mistakes by the Rams also.
2:02 to go in the third quarter. Kangaroos up on top, 21-0. Crozier will punt, and let's see if it'll be fielded by Colt Borland. It is at the 12-yard line. He will run to the left. And it cut inside around the 20 or the 25. We see penalty markers down, and he's finally lassoed and spun around and downed by the Rams around the 27-yard line.
Well, I sure thought we were going to see Darrell Clay block that punt, Randy. He was very close to blocking that time.
Well, you know, Kane Riddle almost blocked one early on in this game.
That's right.
And Colt Borland, the thing about Colt Borland, he just runs as fast as he has to run. If he has to run a 4.6, he runs a 4.6. If he has to run a 4.5, he runs a 4.5. Just one of those guys that has natural athletic ability, and Brent said that's the way he is. He turns it on when he has to, and he goes however fast he has to go to make the play.
Well, that backed the Roos up to about the 8-yard line, it looks like. So I think what we're doing is trying to get set for our longest drive of the season.
Well, is this going to be one of your I got a feeling calls here or not?
Well, I'm not saying that for certain.
You cannot be ambiguous here. Here is Pierce running over people across the 20 and 25. And it takes a gang of about 5 Rams to pull him down at the 26-yard line. Good grief.
And what a great hole got opened up in the middle of that line by the Roos. Once Mark got through it and got hit by a couple of Rams, he just kept on carrying them down the field, didn't he?
He is so strong, and you cannot arm tackle Mark Pierce. First down for the Roos. Kane Riddle comes out. We've got Legale wide to the right side. We have an offset eye, and we have a wingman. That is Bridges. Here's some good blocking left side. Here is Pierce. He's going to cut in at the 35 and up to around the 38-yard line. About a 10 or 12-yarder for Mark, but we have another penalty. They're going to say holding against Weatherford, and now I guess fair play. Turnaround is fair play. We have seen the enemy, and it is us now.
Well, good hard effort out there by the Roos. You saw several of the linemen downfield blocking. Garrett Hudson and Zach Moore both out in front of that run, doing some good blocking. You can't fault the effort. We've just got to be a little more careful here, Randy, and not have those kind of mistakes.
We'll have a first down and 12 from the 25-yard line. And, you know, open field blocking is one of the most difficult things to do. It's like an open field tackle, Mark. The man you're trying to block is quick. He's fast normally down there. He's got a lot of room to maneuver. You don't know where the back is coming up behind you, and not very many people are real effective at downfield blocking, but the Roos have been able to do it. We see all these long plays opening up. Here's a pass to the left side that will be incomplete and over the head of Colt Borland. But you have to have the wide receivers selling out to be able to break open these long plays that we've seen the Kangaroos have so far in the 99 season. And like I said, Larry McBroom will simply not let a wide receiver on the field that is not going to make those blocks.
Well, they do an excellent job of giving everything that they have on every play.
Second down and about 12 yards to go. Here is Colt Borland moving to the left side. He's way out over there, and we have Mark Pierce as a wide man on the right side. And here's a screen pass to Pierce at the 25, and he's run out of bounds at the 28, and one of the refs over here, linesman, gets knocked over. But he's picked up as one of the Rams, Michael Herring, knocked him down and picked him right back up again.
Randy, that play was well executed. It looked like the Roos were going to gain a pretty good amount of yardage on that play.
You know, I think that Zach waited just a little bit late to throw it.
Well, may have.
Timing was not real good there.
The Rams sure reacted to it quickly also.
Third down, 9 yards to go. Here's a quick pass. It is caught by Colt Borland across the 30, and he pulls one of the defenders there for Mineral Wells a couple of yards, but it won't be enough for a first down as he stopped at the 33 of Weatherford. We're down to 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. Kangaroos are on top, 21-0. Good strong performance by the Kanga Crunch defense today, and the offense, we're well over 300 yards rushing right now. Well, that is it for the third quarter. The score, the Kangaroos 21, the Mineral Wells nothing. We'll be right back.
I'm Troy Noel. I was married to Brad Noel, the singer of Sublime. Brad died of a heroin overdose. Jake's been robbed of having a wonderful person to be his father. Educate yourself. Heroin kills, period. We miss him, and we'll miss him forever, and don't let anyone miss you.
Weatherford National Bank, growing with Weatherford. We started in College Park and continued to expand into 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo. No matter where you live, chances are that you are close to one of our offices. Take advantage of our customer-friendly services, free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking. Weatherford National Bank. We kept growing until we became a part of Weatherford's history. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Trinity Paint and Body, owned by Bo Winstead, is located at 1600 Fort Worth Highway. They are known for their fast and superior service. Since opening in April of 1998, they are already having to expand their existing location due to the high volume of business. For great hometown service and a friendly staff, call Trinity Paint and Body, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And remember, for high-quality service, Bo knows.
How about Brewer Northwest?
Fourth quarter getting underway. The Roos are going to punt right here from their own 32. And back deep is Brandon Smith. for the Rams. A very high punt by Garrett Hudson that will bounce outside the 40, 35-30, 25, and a nice roll. And down there is Kane Riddle and also Branch, but down it. So that will back the Rams up deep in their own territory with 11:47 left in the fourth and a 21-0 lead here for the Kangaroos.
Well, you see Garrett Hudson walking down the field there. He was kind of shaking his head. I know he didn't feel real good about that punt when he left his foot, but the roll sure worked in his favor. That was a great punt.
Well, things have been going in Garrett Hudson's favor quite a bit here in the second half.
You bet.
1st and 10 for the Rams. They have 2 receivers out. They have 2 wingmen. Here is Ray Phillip running to his left. He fumbles the ball. It's still on the ground. The Roos have got it at the 27-yard line of Mineral Wells. And I believe, is that the first turnover for the Rams in this game?
I believe.
Second turnover, says Don Legale. Well, we had a turnover right before the half as Barrett Weaver intercepted a pass. At the time, that turnover did not look like it was important, but Kangaroos went on down and scored a touchdown just before the end of the first half, and now the second turnover is a fumble, and Weatherford is now camped at the 27-yard line of Mineral Wells.
And that ball by Phillip looked like he might have been able to recover that, but Jeremy McClure came flying in there and pounced on that ball, and the Roos are in great shape to really cap this night off here by going ahead and pushing that ball in for another touchdown.
Well, let's give everyone some scores. Some are quite surprising. Cleburne and Granbury tied at 21 all in the third quarter. Aledo over Sanger 20-7 in the third. Texas High School 7, Grapevine nothing. Bridgeport 17, Rams 6 in the third. Azle 14, Springtown nothing. Now they said that was a final, but I'm not sure how that game could have finished so early. But anyway, 14-0, Azle over Springtown.
Randy, that's got to be a big shock.
It is, big shock right there. Boswell 21, and Castleberry nothing. That's in the third. And what else have we got? We've got Gordon 51, Buckholz nothing. And right here it's 21-0 Kangaroos over the Rams. Let's give you some more of our Weatherford Kangaroo sponsors here on KZ 1220, your sports center. Taco Bueno, Weatherford Municipal Utilities, Hardness Printing, Sonic, Roger Williams, Whataburger, Lone Star Furniture, The Mall Shop, Weatherford Physical Therapy. Pitch out to Pierce, right side. And he'll get about 4 or 5 yards, and here comes the yellow flag out. I want to thank also Job Site Sales, Roger Williams, First National Bank, Weatherford Democrat, Southwest Ford, Sonic, Unlimited Tinting, Jerry's Chevrolet. Some of these I've mentioned before, but I'm just mentioning them to you as I go down the list here. Mesquite Pit, Whataburger. And there is a number of our wonderful sponsors here on KZ 1220, your sports center. And of course, this audio used for the Nothing But Sports presentation that you can watch on cable TV, Channel 19, and I am not sure about the nights that they'll be showing it next week. Do you know the nights that they will be showing the Kangaroos on cable television next week, Mr. Mark Reeby?
Randy, I wouldn't even hazard a guess right now. Wednesday and Thursday is the plan, I believe, but I'm not sure exactly what night it'll be on.
11 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the game. The Kangaroos are leading it. They just received a penalty on that run by Mark Pierce. It was a chop block. And the coaches, Sean Harvey and his staff for Mineral Wells, trying to get an explanation of some kind on that. So anyway, we'll have a first down play. The ball will be placed at the 39, and the Roos will have to get down to around the 15, 16-yard line. Let's call it the 16 and a half to get a first down.
It looks like the Roos are going to go ahead and take a timeout and reassess this situation.
Your hometown bank teams up with your hometown Kangaroos to provide the support for a successful athletic year at Weatherford High School. Texas Bank, a proud sponsor of the Kangaroo Stadium scoreboard, the sports medicine John Deere Gator, and the new athletic training complex. Texas Bank makes the commitment to our student athletes to place them in the winner's circle. Backing our Kangaroos, banking at Texas Bank. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
People will be able to roll with laughter in their living room floors forever. I'm trying to put some pressure on you, big guy.
Well, you're doing a good job of it, friend.
Here's a screen pass over here on the left side to Borland at the line of scrimmage, but nothing doing as the Rams are over there to stop that one, and a nice tackle by number 15, and we don't have a number 15 on our roster for Mineral Wells. I can see his name, but I just can't tell. It's a 4-letter name. Mark, have you got an idea who it might be? Second down. Ball is at the 41. 10:43 to go in the fourth. Ruse on top, 21-0. And here is Zach Moore with the ball. He's going to throw a pass.
Attaboy.
And there's a beautiful catch.
He got it.
At the 10-yard line and down to the 5, and Garrett Hudson just took it away from a couple of the Rams at the 10-yard line.
What great body position by Garrett that time. He had double coverage by the Rams. He shielded the quarterback off from the ball, and the safety didn't quite get there in time. So great job by Garrett Hudson, and then he had presence of mind to keep his eye close on that ball and just brought it in close to the, what is that, about the 9-yard line, Randy?
I believe it is the 9 is where they're going to mark it. First and goal for Weatherford now on a just remarkable catch by Garrett Hudson, and things are still going Garrett's way here in the second half. Here's Pierce.
There he goes.
He's at the 5, and he's striding in. Touchdown for Kangaroos, and it's 27-0. Boy, they wiped out the right side of the Ram defense there. A couple of guys were able to get their hands on Pierce, but you cannot pull him down like that. You have got to grab him and hold on for dear life until you get some help. And he just stripped those guys and ran right on in, and he was taking some long strides by the time he reached the goal line.
Yeah, you can't arm tackle Mark Pierce, and left side of the Rue line doing a great job of blowing that defense out.
The hold by Borland is good, and the kick up by Jeremy McClure. It is 28-0.
What do you mean Ground's never coming back? Why does she get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
First National Bank of Weatherford is excited about the 1999 Weatherford High School season. Since 1880, the First National Bank of Weatherford has provided friendly and reliable service to the folks in Weatherford and surrounding area. We wish all of the players, cheerleaders, band members, and fans success in all they do in 1999. Come by and visit with your personal banker at First National Bank of Weatherford. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming and I was like, no.
You love watching movies and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
The Roos still have 10 minutes left in this game. Chance for them to let some of their other players get in and let everybody see some action tonight.
Here's Jeremy McClure. He will keep it deep this time, and it will go down to Brandon Smith at the 5, 10, 15, 20. And across the 25. And again, there is Chuck Wilkie. Boy, he is having a big game.
Yeah,
for the Roos tonight.
Chuck was there, and number 83, Andrew Cope, was also in on that play.
Yeah, the defense, you just have to give them a lot of credit. You know, it's been a while now since the Rams have scored a touchdown. They didn't score one last week against Northwest. They scored one early in the third quarter against Granbury and were shut out the last quarter there. So we're talking about 9 quarters now since the Rams have scored. Here's Crozier back, passes one over the middle, around the 40-yard line. It's going to be short. Colt Borland was back there. Watching again Matthew James, who was running a curl pattern.
Well, great push in there by the defensive line. We've got Jeremy Day up there on the front, and Scott Safford in there for the Roos, Michael Branch. And they just did a good job of applying some pressure on the quarterback. He wouldn't have been able to sit back there very much longer without being sacked.
Second down and 10 for the Rams. The ball is at the 29. Crozier back to pass, and this one will be to the right side, and it'll go over the head of Smith. And that one was not too close. Looked like that one could have possibly slipped out of Crozier's hand because Brandon Smith was in the clear around the 35-yard line.
Well, I just don't think they're going to throw very close to Barrett Weaver over there, Randy. I've already given you my theory on that, but I think that's holding true.
Well, you know, every time we mention Barrett Weaver, they throw at him and he gets an interception.
That's right.
9:41 left to go in the fourth quarter. The Kangaroos are on top. Third down play. They need 10. Crozier back to pass. He's got good blocking this time. And he shoots one across the middle on a drag pattern. He had Armando Benavides coming across, but could not hit him. And in 3 plays, the Rams are going to have to give it up, and they're down 27-0.
Well, we had a pair of Jeremys combining on that play for the rush, Randy. Jeremy Day and Jeremy McClure kind of ran a stunt on the line and just had a real good shot at sacking the quarterback.
Here is Crozier back to punt. And there's Garrett Hudson back. The punt will go wobbly and off to the right side. It will land at midfield, and it will be downed at the 49-yard line as Crump gets down there to take it for the Rams.
Randy, you know, with the Rams trying to throw the ball a little bit, we've had several, we had 2 or 3 incomplete passes on that play. I mean, on that series, and the Rams only ran off just a few seconds, less than, or just 31 seconds in that series.
Well, that's one of the weaknesses of the wishbone midline option attack. If you can't throw and catch up, you simply make conditions a lot worse.
Right, right. Great field position for the Roos right now.
And we'll see Zach Moore. The ball is at the 49 of Weatherford. And they are sending 2 receivers to each side. Moore is going to throw another pass. This will go to Bull, and he has it at the 40, at the 35, and a head tackle at around the 30. And that was a beautiful pass from Zach Moore that time on a curl-in route. Borland was wide open. It was right in his gut.
Great pass and great catch out there by the Roos. Had 4 wide receivers. Zach had plenty of targets to shoot at.
1st and 10 at the Ram 30. 9:18 left in the game. And Chad Legale comes wide to the left. You have a wingman to the right side, and back there is Cashin Carlisle. And he has short yardage across the 30-yard line. Good job by the inside defense of the Rams there. We've seen number 52 in on a lot of tackles. That's Brent Jackson.
Well, you know, Cashin plays primarily on the defensive side of the ball for the Roos, but he's also an excellent running back and showed quite a bit of speed there as he flew into that line.
And you know, you have to think if Mineral Wells had about 4 or 5 more guys, they didn't have to play so many people on both sides of the line there, offensively and defensively. Here's a quick run by Mark Pierce across the 20, and again, he's busting tackles. He just pushed Adele Duckett away and cut inside of him around the 20-yard line. And a nice run again by Mark Pierce down to the 15. But I started to say the Rams, they had 4 or 5 guys that they could stick out there on defense, Mark. They would be a much tougher team because so many of them out there playing on the offensive side, and you can just see that they're somewhat gassed right now.
Yeah, that's bound to wear you down, and I would suspicion that may be why their coaches are calling a timeout right now. If nothing else, of course they want to talk to them, but it's also a good time to breathe.
Well, let's take a break with 8:14 to go in the 4th quarter. The Weatherford Kangaroos 27 and the Mineral Wells Rams nothing. We'll be right back.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming and I was like, no.
You love watching movies, and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
We are named Weatherford National Bank because we are Weatherford. From the rodeo to the Peach Festival to Christmas on the Square and everything in between, you'll find us there sharing in the rich heritage of Weatherford and Parker County. Come by any of our 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo. You'll find free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking, all the services that our customers have come to expect. Weatherford National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
We're back.
Brewer 31. Okay. All right, bring us back. Well, we just missed a attempted pass there, or was a pass by Zach Moore to the left side. He was looking for Mark Pierce, and it was over Mark's head. So we'll have a second down play from the 15. 27-0. Kangaroos are leading, and they have been dominating since about halfway through the second quarter. 8:08 left in the game. Zach Moore will pitch out to Mark. He's running to the left side.
That's it.
He's at the 10, the 5, and Mark Pierce is going in for another Kangaroo touchdown.
All right.
34-0 or 33-0 right now. And let's see if they can get the 34th point as Jeremy McClure will come in. That sweep, that looked good from the beginning. Mark, they had that left side pretty well closed off.
Yeah, the offensive line just shut that down, and Mark got out there and got a full head of steam up, and he's just really running hard, and the Roos have just got the momentum going in this game.
And you know, you call this, you said that you felt like that the Ram defense would get wore down, and when they lose that one step, you know, that's the step that Mark Pierce needs to break open, and he did right there. Another run for Pierce, and it is now 34-0 as Jeremy McClure does send that one through. We'll be right back with more Kangaroo football in just a minute. 34-0. The Kangaroos are leading the Mineral Wells Rams. And another run by Mark Pierce for a touchdown. And Shanahan is the man that threw the big block on that one. And I was going to mention back in the first half that Shanahan and also Kane Riddle, if you watch them on film, they are the kind of guys that get down low and go right at people's ankles. And that's difficult to do. You have to have talent to be able to have the control to go down and get someone low like that. If you're slow, you can't do it. And it makes the defensive man put his hands down. Here is the kickoff, and there is a tackle by, who is it? That is can't see the number yet. Oh, it's Shane Weeks who was down there at the 20-yard line to make the tackle on the kickoff. But anyway, I was talking about Shanahan and Weeks. What they do is they make the defensive man have to put his hands down to protect himself because they're shooting right at the knees and right at the ankles. And that makes it so much better for Zach Moore and Pierce, because then they could just run right by that man. If you hit somebody up high, they can normally slide off one way or the other, or they get their hands on you. And it just makes Zach and Garrett and all those other guys back there in the backfield that much more effective. The first handoff will go to Ray Phillip. He'll move out for 9 yards as he goes off the right side of the Rams line out to the 29.
And number 21, Chuck Wilkie, just came flying in there to make that tackle. Hit him up high, took him on a real hard blow there, and just knocked the wadding out of him.
The stuffing out of him, right.
Yeah.
Well, you could have
I started to say
you had
snot,
a chance.
Randy, but I don't know if you could say snot on the radio.
Well, you know, that would not have been a euphemism had you used that word. Here's Ray Phillip again. He's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Now he does roll over and perhaps may have the first down at the 30-yard line. But boy, that defense out there. Darrell Clay is playing tough again, and Danny Merritt has come in for Tidwell, and he came in last week against Castleberry and made a number of big plays. Jeremy Day on the left side.
Craig Boney.
Very consistent. And Craig Boney, the man in the middle, and he is a man in there, I'll tell you.
No doubt about that, Randy.
And then you throw in Cashin Carlisle, and, well, that is a tough defense right now. Here is the run by Duckett across the 35 and out to the 40-yard line. A good, hard run by Ray Phillip, that is. And that will be a first down for the Rams. We're down to 6:20 to go. It is 34-0 right now in favor of the Kangaroos.
Well, Randy, the Rams have got to be feeling like they don't want to go home on homecoming night with a goose egg on the score. So they're going to do everything they can to score against the Roos here the last 6 minutes of the game.
Well, so far the Kangaroos have been very impressive in every area of the game again. There is a hard tackle. And, well, Chuck Wilkie was over there again right on top of him.
Yeah, Darrell Clay did a great job of wrapping his legs up. And then he was still standing up, and Wilkie just came over and powdered him. That was a great hit by both Darrell Clay and Chuck Wilkie.
Gain of about 2.5 yards. The ball is just outside the 45 of Mineral Wells. We're down to 5:35 to go in the fourth. Rams back in their tight wishbone now. They have one receiver to the left side. Here's Crozier handing off to little number 2, and he makes a good cut across midfield down to the 45. That's Ronald Bell.
That was Barrett Weaver making that tackle, and Jeremy McClure coming in to finish him off. The Roos need to kind of solidify here a little bit and shut the Rams down. It'd be nice to have a shutout tonight.
Well, the Rams are just going right back now to their basics. They're going right back to the midline, and they're running blast plays off of this wishbone. And you see teams do that a lot of times when they see that their regular wishbone is being stopped. Here's another good run across the 40, the 35. That's Armando Benavides, and that will be close to a first down. And what you do when a team is lined up there, Mark, to stop your wishbone, they more or less have to cover the entire field. And you see Springtown do this a lot. They will start running blast plays, they'll start running traps, and they'll move out into a flex bone, and they'll outman you at a certain spot. And these blast plays here, those are working because of that. And here's another one. 20-yard line, down to the 15-yard line. And another good run, this one by Ronald Bell. So the Rams have taken the ball and moved it right down the field. They're now at the 25 of Weatherford. We're down to 4 minutes to go in the game. The Roos are leading at 34-0. You'd sure like to see them get the shutout here. You know, they gave up a late touchdown to Castleberry last week. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Again, the wishbone backfield, but they're not running the wishbone attack here at all. There's a nice run again, this time by Ray Phillip across the 20 down to the 15. That's close to a first down.
We sure are getting to see Barrett Weaver and Chuck Wilkie add to their tackle total here, Randy. I think what we need to do is see our linemen stop them, or our linebackers, and shut them down and get them into a long situation instead of those second, third with short yardage situation.
Well, they're just running blast plays in here, one right after another, and they've got the Roo defense somewhat spread out, trying to cover the wishbone attack. Here's a run by Ronald Bell across the 10-yard line, and that'll be a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. 6-yard gain.
We got number 50, Scott Safford, coming back into the game right quick for the Roos.
Down to 2:50 to go. Second down and about 3.5 yards to go for the Rams. They're trailing 34-0. This time they do come out in the wishbone again. Have one receiver to the left side, and they're going to give this one to Ray Phillip. And boy, there he is, I believe. Clay jumping on top of him.
A great job by Darrell Clay, and then about 4 or 5 other Roos followed Darrell into the hole there and stopped the runner.
And Darrell Clay is one of those linebackers. You know, he has a linebacker mentality out there. He is another one of the very intensive players.
Darrell will stick his nose in there, I promise you.
2:09 left, third down, still about 4 yards to go for the Rams. Wishbone formation. And here's a handoff to Benavides. And a good tackle. That was Boney coming in from his Mike linebacker spot, and he jumped on Benavides pretty quickly at the 5-yard line. We'll have a 4th down play coming up for Mineral Wells.
Well, we had Boney making the play, but Keith Such and Barrett Weaver doing a good job of stringing that out and allowing Craig to come in and wrap that runner up.
4th down. Let's watch Safford inside. I love to see Safford on these kind of plays. He likes to shoot through there. He likes to shoot through the gap and see if he can grab a hold of the runner. Here is an inside handoff.
Oh, he got it.
And he is in for the touchdown. Can't see it from here real well, as I believe that was Ronald Bell going in. So the Rams finally do it with 1:21 left to go here in the game. And they go on a long drive, and they're just using blast plays up the middle. And they are able to open up some pretty good-sized holes in the Weatherford defense. Martin will be in to kick the extra point, and holding will be Brandon Smith. Here is the kick. It is up, and is it good? Yes, it is good. So with 1:21 left to go in the game, Weatherford 34, Mineral Wells 7. We'll be right back. Kangaroos have spoiled. And a long drive there by Mineral Wells to get on the board. 80-yard drive in 12 plays, and finally a 5-yard run by Ronald Bell. And let's see if they will try an onside kick or if they will kick it deep.
Well, the Roos got all their players up front that got good hands, so they sure are anticipating an onside kick.
And it will be onside, and it will bounce around the 50, and it will go out of bounds around the 48-yard line of Weatherford, and I'm sure the Kangaroos will take it right there with just 1 minute and 18 seconds to go. And the rushing yardage for the Kangaroos in this game has got to be way up there around the 350-yard mark.
Well, they've stayed on the ground, no doubt about it. done a good job passing when they needed to, and just pretty well dominated both sides of the ball game, Randy.
And who have we got next week on the schedule? I've been so absorbed in this game, I can't remember who we play next week.
I believe that we play Brewer, Randy, and I think that is in Weatherford.
The Brewer Bears. That ought to be another good game. Looks like the Roos are going to move out to a 2-0 record in 8-4A. We've got some surprises for you in 8-4A tonight when we give you the scores. Here is Chesney taking a handoff from Colt Borland, who has come in now at quarterback, gain of about 6 yards. The ball is across midfield at the 47 of the Rams.
Well, this is one of the things that I like about Coach McBroom, Randy. The Roos could try to pile on the score even more. He's letting some guys play, but he's keeping on doing what the Roos do right, and that's running the ball and giving those running backs a chance to get some additional carries.
They will run out of the offset eye. Here's a good hard run by Chesney, breaking a tackle around the 45. And Chesney will move down to the 42, and that will be a first down for the Kangaroos. And we are down to the last play of the game. Clock is running again. Weatherford again having a big night on the ground. Zach Moore had a couple of long runs tonight. So did Mark Pierce. Here is a handoff to Chesney, who is the eye back in the offset eye. Running across the 40-yard line. He's down to the 37. We're down to 6 seconds, 5 seconds. This will end it tonight in Mineral Wells. It is all over. The Weatherford Kangaroos have won another big 8-4A game. They have won now 4 games in a row in the 1999 season. The final score is 34-7. We'll be right back with more Kangaroo football in just a minute.